morning. We're on the record in 2016 CF 15738 and 2017 CF 826. Would the attorneys announce their appearances for the record?
Brad King, Rick Ridgway, and Ryan Williams for the state of Florida.
Thank you.
Markeith Loyd.
Yes, sir.
Myself.
Thank you, Mr. Loyd.
Roger Weed here, standby counsel for Mr. Loyd and Candace Hawthorne.
Ms. Hawthorne, I know you weren't here at the last proceeding. I know you had a conflict. Are you willing to accept the appointment as standby counsel, the co-chair of the case? As standby. Give me 1 second, Mr. Loyd. I'll be right with you. Are you willing to accept that appointment?
Your Honor, can we approach, please?
Well, I can't have Mr. Loyd come on up, so I don't think he wants standby counsel, but I want standby counsel right now.
I believe Mr. Loyd would want us to tell the court what...
I have a motion to give counsel appointed to me.
Okay, very good. Let's start there.
I can explain to the court, Judge.
Okay.
What's been going on.
All right.
There's a lawyer out of Miami who was JAC approved lawyer, Terrence
Lenneman.
Lenneman's his name. He does capital cases all around the state. He has a JAC contract in every jurisdiction, well, maybe not every jurisdiction, but most jurisdictions. Orange County has a residential requirement apparently to have a JAC contract here. The family's had some discussions with this individual, and he's capital attorney, tried many cases, and apparently is well respected around the state. Mr. Loyd has indicated to me he'd like to have him appointed in the case. Ms. Hawthorne indicated that she'd be willing to step aside in that respect. And so we'd be asking the court to consider maybe setting a status hearing on representation in the case and consider this possibility of appointing this individual to be counsel in the case.
What's his name again?
Terrence, Terrence, Lenneman, Lennon.
Lennon.
O-M-E-N, I believe.
I've explained to Mr. Loyd that normally an accused seeking appointed counsel can't choose that person. But I think in a case like this, since he is well qualified and handles JAC cases around the state, including in Lake County, Marion County, etc., that might be an option the court should consider.
Okay.
To help move more smoothly.
Mr. Loyd, is that I wanted to control the order, but this makes sense. Do you want him to be appointed to represent you?
Yes. I need to be the lead counsel for him to do whatever he wants to do. But I've been in contact with him, and he said he's going to take my case.
Is your understanding that he would act as lead and you would participate, for example, as co-chair?
I've not talked to him directly, Judge, but I mean, when I do these cases, I don't really like the term first chair, second chair, because usually I just work with other counsel, and sometimes someone's available for depots, sometimes other people are available for depots. So, but he and I could speak about that. I could be the second chair if he wants to be the lead.
All right. So, Mr. Loyd, there was a lot that we're going to discuss today. This might help me in many of those discussions. It is your position now that you would like to have an attorney represent you in this action. Is that correct?
I'm just an attorney, Terrence Lennon.
All right. So you want that attorney to represent you in the end. But you want counsel. You would accept counsel. You would accept him. And if I also appointed Mr. Whedon to assist him, you'd accept that, I presume, as long as he's involved.
I don't know if Terrence brings someone with him or not.
Okay. But you would like to have a lawyer. As Mr. Whedon pointed out, typically you don't get to pick court-appointed counsel, but I'm going to consider this carefully because I think that you need counsel, as everyone in your situation does. State, you have any you might not want to participate in this conversation at all, or you might want to. It's really up to me, I think, and Mr. Loyd, but is there anything you want to say?
No, sir. I've handled cases with Mr. Lenneman before. The only concern that I would have is him being in Miami and
right.
scheduling things and how long that will drag the case out.
Right. in some ways, I would think it'd be easier for everybody. It certainly would be, I think, easier for the court and better for Mr. Loyd, and in some ways, easier for you to deal with counsel.
That may be, Your Honor.
Right, okay.
That's why I didn't intend to speak to a position on whether or not to appoint Mr. Loyd. I think that's the court's discretion to do that.
Here's my motion, and the resume.
All right, why don't you hand that to the deputies? Let me take a look at it. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, Mr. Loyd. I mean, in any other case, I don't think I'd entertain this motion, but I'm going to entertain it in your case because I want you to be represented by counsel. Otherwise, I think you're defending yourself, one hand tied behind your back. What I intend to do is set this for a status hearing next Monday at 10:30. Are you available or not next Monday?
I can be available.
Okay. And I'm going to direct that Mr. Lenneman appear in court so that I can talk about arrangements with him. And in the meantime, I'm going to talk to the Justice Administration Commission about what would be permissible in terms of his billing, given that he's from out of the locale. Then I'm going to talk to him about having local counsel, and in this case, Mr. Whedon be his co-chair or co-counsel. I would suspect he would want someone local involved in the case. So we'll explore all of that next week. I'm leading towards granting this motion so that you're represented by counsel. But I need him here to talk to him about some logistics. Does that make sense? And by logistics, I mean him being up here for the trial, his traveling to Orange County, and also having an Orange County attorney who can handle matters here locally, assisting him in the trial. You understand that, Mr. Loyd? So next Monday, I'll talk to him face-to-face here. and I'm leaning towards granting your motion, but there's some things I want to research and I want to talk to him about before I make my final decision in it. Do you follow me, Mr. Loyd? Okay. Mr. Weed.
Your Honor, I'm going to be out of state on Monday. Can we do it Tuesday?
Tuesday's a little tough. What about Wednesday? Are you back then?
Yes.
Are you available on the 12th?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's do it Wednesday at 10. That's Wednesday, April 12th. All right, Madam Clerk, would you file these two matters? All right, there are motions that the state has filed, so let's take those up. Mr. King, in whichever order you wish to proceed.
Well, Your Honor, we have, given what's just occurred, we have discovery that we intended to deliver to the Orange County Jail today, because actually I think Friday was the 15th day.
All right.
So we're ready to deliver it, but my concern would be, do we deliver it to the Orange County Jail with this pending appointment of counsel occurring next Wednesday?
Mr. Loyd, are you okay if I give the state a little more time to deliver this material because they may deliver it to your appointed counsel? Okay, all right, so I'll grant that extension under these circumstances.
Okay. And also under the circumstances, I have a motion for a DNA standard from Mr. Loyd, a typical buccal swab that they do of the mouth to get DNA to compare against other evidence. And again, given the situation with counsel, I don't mind putting that off until we meet, but also, you know, understands we have a speedy trial issue until someone waives it. So,
Mr. Loyd, one of the matters I was going to talk to you today about, and I guess really we should reserve this till next week, but until I scheduled the status next week, our next meeting was April 17th for pretrial conference, which is 14 days from today, where we would talk about all of the logistics to scheduling your trial. And I had a page full of issues to talk to you about in terms of scheduling the trial and all that. My experience, Mr. Loyd, is that an attorney coming into a case that's this serious is going to want time to prepare and likely will ask for that time to get ready, which would be a motion to continue and would waive your speedy trial rights. Instead of going into a lengthy conversation with you about that today, whether you were ready, I think the prudent course is to wait to see if you have the attorney who likely is going to need some time to get ready for your case. Does that make sense? Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay. So, I mean, today might be a little shorter than I thought because of this development where really I want to talk to Mr. Lenneman. I want to talk to him about whether I'm going to let him in certain conditions of his appearance, and then whether he's ready to go, which I would be doubtful that he is. I would think he's going to want more time. He's going to want to review the materials that the state has for you, and in all likelihood, he's going to want to question the witnesses that the state will call to the stand, which we call taking their depositions, so that he has some idea what it is that they're going to say. I would be shocked if he says, no, Judge, I'm here, and let's just go, I'm ready to go, without ever having interviewed the witnesses. That would be very unusual. I don't know if you've talked to him about speedy trial. Rather than going into it in detail today, I think we'll wait till next week when he's here. But you understand that likely he's going to want time to get ready for your case. Okay. I'll reserve on the motion to grant DNA samples. those motions are almost pro forma. I'm very likely to grant it.
I also, also have a motion coming too, also against Governor Rick Scott and Brad King being appointed because he was appointed to follow the paperwork, but I'll reserve that.
Okay, because I haven't seen that motion, and it's not my habit to comment on anything before I've seen it.
I haven't been able to make copies of the evidence that I have. So if I give it up now, I won't have it, but he's been appointed to follow the paperwork, but I got all that coming.
All right. And you might want to talk to Mr. Lennon about that, because if I appoint him to represent you, then motions will have to be filed through him. So he would file motions on your behalf as opposed to your then filing motions independently. But we'll talk about that next week. I think you probably understand that. Let me just outline for you in case you do talk to Mr. Lennon. So initially, we had today's hearing. We had April 17th pretrial, 2 weeks from today, for a May 1st trial, which is extraordinarily quick. And I was going to talk to you about your ability to review discovery, your ability to review case law, your ability to review the rules of procedure, your inability really to question or depose witnesses, and whether you would be ready to go for a May 1st trial. A trial of this size requires a lot of coordination. I'm going to talk to Mr. Lennon if he accepts this. If I give him the appointment and he accepts it under the conditions we're going to talk about, we'll talk about all of that on the 12th. Is that what I said, 12th? Yes, as opposed to, and that really, I think, will kind of give us some idea of the direction that we're headed in. All right, Mr. Whedon, anything from your perspective?
No, Your Honor, I'm going to talk to Mr. Lindeman, and he's in Ocala right now, I believe, and so I'll reach out to him. I'll try to facilitate a visitation, Mr. Loyd, perhaps even this evening, so I'll see where his schedule is coming back from Ocala. Maybe we'll get out there this afternoon.
Okay, Mr. Loyd, do you have any questions about where we are? It's a little quicker than I thought. Mr. King?
No, I did have set for hearing today and also a motion to set limits of discovery regarding the autopsy photographs and videos. I assume we'll likewise hold it in abeyance until next week.
I think that's the wise way to go. I think we can discuss it if Mr. Lennon appears in the case. And it almost would be easier to discuss it in that context if that happens. All right, anything else? So, as I said, this was a little shorter than I thought. Mr. Loyd, April 12th. In the meantime, if Mr. Lennon comes and talks to you, that's fine. Maybe you can review some of the things we discussed today. And I will make a definitive ruling on the 12th about whether he's your attorney. All right, thank you all. Appreciate it.
Let me get that pen back.
Yeah, that's who called.
Okay.
And so he said, he'll call me back, so. Well, that was very interesting. Mr. Loyd got very passive.